After the ritual, Jack felt that nothing had essentially happened, despite the tangential tantrums, as Kenneth Grant would call them. But having gone out to the desert, he suddenly felt the magic had worked. He and Hubbard were in the desert, probably under the power lines where Jack's ashes were eventually scattered. And when they returned to the house, they found Marjorie Cameron sitting on the doorstep like a stray cat, with Marjorie's odd looks and red hair. Jack wondered whether this was the elemental that he had in fact conjured. Jack and Cameron did what any sensible people would do and spent an extended few weeks in bed trying to find out. It may have been at this time when Jack decided that he was trying to incarnate Babalon on Earth as a female messiah. What Jack was doing was seeking the fusion of the witch as elemental force with the magician as direction, a theme that we find echoed in Gerald Gardner's novel High Magic's Aid. But this is something which very much does not happen for magic and witchcraft communities, still remain very often separated and looking at each other with some mistrust. And the story of Jack is one possible vista of this false division being dissolved. Cameron's recollection of these 2 weeks in bed and Jack ranting to her about Thelema and Babalon and the Book of the Law was that she derided Jack's magical ideas. So there are a lot of people who have quite a lot of emotional energy invested in Cameron being a very important player in the Babalon story, but at every step of the way she actually rejected all of Jack's advances, and certainly in the beginning she just wanted to have nothing to do with his magical ideas. Marjorie fled back to New York, ditched her boyfriend, and discovered that she was in fact pregnant. While she was away, Jack went back out to the Mojave Desert, and it was in the Mojave Desert that he received Liber 49, the Book of Babalon, which he believed was the 4th chapter of the Book of the Law, which is a claim which I don't think any Thelemites have taken seriously. But certainly Liber 49 has very strong witchcraft elements to it, and it's worth quoting a little bit of it. In verse 29, "Let her be dedicated, consecrated, blood to blood, heart to heart, mind to mind, single in will, none without the circle, and all to me. And she shall wander in the witchwood under the night of Pan, and also know the mysteries of the goat and the serpent, and of the children that are hidden away. Gather together in the covens as of old, whose number is 11, that is also my number. Gather together in public, in song and dance and festival. Gather together in secret, be naked and shameless, and rejoice in my name. Work your spells by the mode of my book, practicing secretly, inducing the supreme spell. The work of the image, the work of the potion and the charm, the work of the spider and the snake, and the little ones that go in the dark. This is your work. Who loves not hates, who hates fears, let him taste fear. This is the way of it. Star, star, burning bright, moon, witch moon. You, the secret, the outcast, the accursed and despised. Even you that gathered privily of old in my rites under the moon. You, the free, the wild, the untamed, that walk now alone and forlorn. Liber 49 is a collection of these kind of evocative and very much fractured lines which show that Jack was moving decisively into witchcraft. When Cameron returned from New York, if she was carrying the expected child, it had been aborted. Throughout Jack's life, we can never really be sure. We can never really be sure whether he saw Cameron as Babalon, and certainly she never seemed to fully accept the role. It seems clear with hindsight that she was not quite what he wanted her to be. The rest of the Babalon working with Hubbard acting as Scryer is full of terrifying pronouncements of living flame that predict the death of Jack. Hubbard finally absconded with Jack's money, with his ex-lover Betty, and with some garbled ideas which soon became part of his cash-hungry Scientology cult. Certainly this is a part of history which Scientologists prefer you not to talk about. Their version of the events is that Hubbard broke up a black magical cult, which might be perhaps a little disingenuous. Jack was certainly transformed by the working, and on August the 20th, 1946, resigned his position in the OTO, calling it autocratic, and further saying that it was not the right place to express or retain the freedoms that he saw in Liber Oz. There was, for Jack, no more to learn in what future Caliph Grady McMurtry had called Hodgepodge Lodge. At the same time, Jack's professional career in science was misfiring in scandal and accusations. Facing this, he threw himself into the witchcraft and attempted to train Cameron for what he saw as a crucial role in history. Earlier, Jack had asked Grady McMurtry if he wanted anything bringing back for him while he was in Europe, and Jack had replied without hesitation, "Yes, a red-headed witch." What all of these utterances seem to show is that Jack really was looking for a witch to initiate him, rather than trying to initiate and create a witch as he was doing with Cameron. Jack eventually created a correspondence course in 14 parts at $10 a section called The Witchcraft, and much of it resembles Crowley's Magic in Theory and Practice. But I certainly argue that Magic in Theory and Practice is a superior text. What the course contains is all disappointingly familiar ritual magic: pentagram ritual, hexagram ritual, formulas, elemental weapons, the primacy of the will, which is a shame given the fact that Jack had vowed to simplify what he described as the claptrap approach of the OTO. But behind all of these attempts was a very romantic creation myth. Witchcraft was the oldest religion, and man had abandoned it to enthrone intellect over life and love. Jack records how man made demons, infused them with the breath of his life, enticed them into his heart, and then did a devil dance across the pages of history. And his demons put on the masks of the virtues and took to themselves all the crowns, until in his whole world he knew nowhere to turn. Demons in this context sound very much like the Gnostic archons.